zoom in on the right spot. Okay. This is very difficult. I was gonna make a video of this, but of course I turned it into a live stream. Kept having multiple fails. So, trying to zoom in just a bit. I'm sorry, this is just kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to get the correct thing. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm sure you'll have heard of as from Heels versus Babyface, obviously thrown into hot waters because of his reaction about pronouns in a video game. Now, of course, a lot of people who don't know him think that this is some kind of actual, actual emotion pouring out of his face. People actually think he's gonna cry. But for those who know Az or just watched his content a bit, know that this is normal. This is how his rants are. Sometimes it's chill, like flowers, and the next moment is erupting like a volcano. That's how Az is. That's how it is. So obviously, a lot of people who don't know him have taken this clip out of context. The clip was shared, and obviously, I don't think a lot of people. I don't think. Okay, I don't know who was the first person who shared it. I've seen some videos and some people have pointed to one of Az's basically friends, I guess, talking about just sharing a clip. I don't think he was being malicious whatsoever. But then again, I don't know who shared the original clip. I need to do more investigation, but I don't want to. I don't want to touch Twitter right now. I know it's gonna be a mess, you know? So, anyways, I want to say that the reaction as just basically taken out of context so much. So complaining about pronouns in a video game. What's bad about that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But then you have now the modern gamers, the mainstream gamers, who think that's just the norm. They think that's okay. So they're going to criticize, not just criticize, but basically make fun of Az's looks. Because if you guys don't know, Az kind of looks like the stereotypical person to get angry about this. So obviously they're just going full force with this. They're just going full force with this, and they making some of them making fun of his appearance. Now I'm not surprised some of them are like some ordinary gamers because a couple months ago he made fun of not a YouTube. Well, I think well he still makes videos, I guess. Ian Miles Chong, more active on Twitter. And basically, what happened was he was talking about a character from this Fable trailer, this new Fable trailer, and how this character was just ugly. And then some ordinary gamers just took a just basically used a picture of him and made fun of his looks. That's basically it. There was no argument to, okay, this game is woke or whatever. There's no argument to that. It's just look at your looks. Bang. Now the thing is that they've done this. A lot of people have done the same, making fun of Az, and it is very disappointing. But then again, it's not shocking. It's just disappointing because I swear, if you made fun of someone else, made fun of their looks, I swear some of these people would get very upset. So, anyways, enough about pointing hypocrisies. The more we waste time pointing hypocrisies, nothing gets done. So the reaction to his reaction to pronouns was just, I would say, cringy, because the mainstream gamers are very much pro wokeness. They have been very comfortable with wokeness for the past few years. And FYI, this isn't just happening in real life. I mean, in video games with the pronouns. It's happening in real life as well. So okay, so yeah, let me show you before we do anything though. Let me just say one thing. I want you all to look at this game from 2018, Monster Hunter World. Obviously, this is with the expansion, so 2019 updates with 2020 free content updates. This is how the game is, and this is how the character creator is. What's that? Oh my goodness! No way! No freaking way! No way! Male and female? Oh, you got to be crazy. Male and female. A game using male and female. A 2018 game using male and female and not correcting it. Oh my goodness. What is this? The 2000s? The early 2000s? What? Modern games. You can't even use the word male or female. And why am I bringing this up? Because it is very important. Monster Hunter World doesn't have pronouns, but I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I want you all to look at this. Can you all see it? What is this? Monster Hunter Rise. Well, this is with the Sunbreak expansion and all the updates included. As you can see, what is this? Type 1, Type 2. Wait a minute. That's a male. That's a male. This is also a male. You see what's happening? You can't say you can't say male or female in a 2021 released game. You can't say that. It's offensive. Even the latest Street Fighter game has some kind of like body type 1 to pick your pronoun nonsense. That's how it kind of is, but it's slightly different. But still, why have a pronoun in the first place? This game has no pronoun options whatsoever. You choose male, you are a male. That's basically it. So that's something I'm just trying to kind of figure out. People were fine with this back in 2018. They were fine with character creators like this. I know some games were basically choosing body type A and body type B synonyms, but at the end of the day, I don't think there was outrage using those words male and female. So all of a sudden now it's like we can't use those terms. Even Monster Hunter Rise is not woke enough because there's no pronoun options. You may have no male or female, but guess what? Guess what? No pronoun option. So it's not that woke. It's not that woke. Now, the crazy thing about all this is that language itself in reality has been slowly shifting, not naturally, but just forced. You have now companies forcing you to put pronouns on your resume or just on your emails or whatever. Like, you have to do it. You have to do it. It's becoming that ridiculous. This is being forced. You also have people getting charged if they misgender someone. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This is really happening. Some countries are going to make some strange laws with changing your documents, your birth certificates to the gender you identify now, which is crazy because that's just going to mess a lot of stuff up at the end. Because if you go to the doctors and if you transition to male, you're still a female. You're just calling yourself male, but you understand what I'm trying to say, you know? It is a bit ridiculous. It's gotten very ridiculous. And overall, you also have some examples where children were taken away from their parents because the parents did not basically assign them with the correct pronouns or gender they had identified as. You actually have this. There's proof everywhere. I'm not trying to overblow this thing. This has been happening for some time. So the pronoun stuff, getting angry at it is fine. Now, Az was obviously overreacting in his clip, but that's how Az basically reacts to content. He is not actually gonna burst into tears. He is disappointed with that, but he's just complaining about it in a very Az way. If you actually watch him, you know how he is. That's just how he is. So obviously, yeah. But what's also crazy is that we went from 2018 support all women to 2023 birthing people. Support birthing people. I'm not joking. Women can't even call themselves women anymore, or females. It's birthing people. That's how far they've gotten. Okay, that's how far they've gotten. This is also affecting real life. This isn't just a video game issue. This is also pouring all over in schools, real life, the workplaces. A lot of people have grown comfortable with this, and they are the woke gamers, the mainstream gamers who will just accept this type of stuff because to them it's now normal. I guarantee you, most of these people complaining about Az's rant would have supported him back in the day. There's a lot of proof for that. Like some of the people, like some of them just complaining about him, but years ago they would have been on his side. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Overall, overall, people's people's reaction to has is just pretty cringy. But then that's mainstream gaming for you. That's the new face of gaming. It's not fun. It's not okay. It's not okay to talk about pronoun stuff. You can criticize anything about a video game, you know, DLC content, overcharging, and loot boxes, graphics. You can complain about the freaking bugs, but you complain about the wokeness, and a lot of these mainstream gamers hear about you complaining about the wokeness, then they're gonna get mad. They're gonna get mad at you being mad at the game for being woke. That's just it. That's just how things are now. It's safe to go after people like Az for complaining about the pronouns. It's safe. It's not safe to basically support him. You know what I'm saying? Safe edgies, safe Oni. These terms have been thrown a lot recently, but they are new terms, obviously, so you're gonna hear them a lot, basically meaning double standards. So moving on, I just want to say a couple of more things. Why it matters. Why it matters that we we complain about the wokeness and stuff like that. Why it matters, because this has been going on far too long enough. I mean, come on, people's children have been taken away for parents because parents are not quote unquote freaking assigning them to what they identify as. Like it really has gotten to that point where it does affect real world, and what you're seeing in the game is just basically a bunch of woke developers trying to chase after either ESG scores or just themselves being woke. Because remember, wokeness has been before ESG. So, yeah. So it's either that they are more woke now because of ESG, or because the employees are woke, or of course just both. Just a mixture of both. They're chasing ESG points, and of course they are having a lot of woke people run everything. All I can say is that it matters a lot because it does affect the world we live in today. It does affect that. It has changed so much of culture, so much people. I guarantee you, so much of people who have basically, fell under the woke hands. A lot of those people would have been normal people. Like, that's the interesting thing I want to point out. You see all these people, these these new woke commentators coming out of the blue, just coming out and complaining about conservatives, or just like the mildest people ever on the platform. Those people, I guarantee you, wouldn't have been like this if it weren't for all the crazy wokeness they have swallowed over the past few years. I guarantee you that, because these people had dreams too. Just remember that woke people also had dreams like you and me. The only difference is that they kind of threw away their dreams, and that's just very disappointing. That really is disappointing. It does matter, it does shape the future. Culture does shape the future. As much as many woke people like to pretend or just like to ignore the fact that it doesn't, it does. It very much does. The culture wars are real. Yes, it is real. And of course, a lot of woke people will defend the wokeness because it's their specific culture. They have to defend it. Now, once again, to kind of just mention back to the reactions, as I said before, and you know, just a couple minutes ago, a lot of people would have sided with as if this was a couple years ago. But unfortunately, they have gotten so comfortable with wokeness that they themselves are now woke people, or just adjacent to wokeness. You know, it's gotten to a point where everything is so ridiculous, and the fact that people are more angry at as is just really insane. It really is insane. Overall, overall, here's your proof. There was no pronouns. People were fine. They used the terms male and female. Everything was fine. I'm not a major fan of Monster Hunter Rise for its gameplay, but when it came to the choose the body type A and body type B, that really let me down, because the games before that used male and female. And this subtle change in, not trying to offend everyone really works, because now we can't even say terms like female or woman because it offends people. So now we have to use terms like birthing people, which is very offensive, because I thought the same woke people hated when women were only talked about as breeders. So it's totally fine for them to call women birthing people. You understand what I'm trying to say? They complained about they complained that people only saw women as just breeders, baby makers, as they say. Well, they now literally call women baby makers, just a slightly different term. That's it. That's literally what they're calling them, baby makers. That's how they are identifying them as baby makers. That's how they are doing that. And it's totally fine. It's totally accepted now. Honestly, it is ridiculous. I'm sorry if this rant feels a bit repetitive, but I want to say that Has did nothing wrong. His rant was totally fine. Those who know the context, those who know him, know that he is just basically over exaggerating. Yes, he is still angry about the pronouns, but obviously that's how his rants go. He starts off chill and then he explodes like a volcano, as I said. So that's something interesting to point out. I hope a lot of people hear that, but I kind of doubt this video will get a lot of views. If it does, then I hope a lot of woke people are listening because it's important they hear this type of stuff. And I'm sorry if I'm running out of breath. Oh my goodness. I feel like I ran a marathon. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what's to come with this type of reaction. No one knows because I definitely feel that a lot of the mainstream gamers defending wokeness, they themselves are just accepted it. So it wouldn't really be surprising if something like birthing people are used on women. It wouldn't really offend them so much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyways, have a wonderful day. As did nothing wrong.